Episode 1. All right, here we are. After a few weeks of planning, we're here for episode 1 of the Buy Box Bandits podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Got a great group of hosts here. We hope you'll enjoy the content. My name is Miles. I go by Flips for Miles on Instagram. Been selling on Amazon a little over 2 years, about 7 months full time, and have some other great hosts with me here. You're going to introduce themselves.
Yeah, my name's Garrett. Go by All Out Amazon on Instagram. Started All Out Amazon brand with my brother about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Yeah.
My name is Daniel or Danny. I go by @FBA_Danny on Instagram. I've been selling on Amazon for, I think I'm coming up on 2 years in October, November. And yeah, we're very excited to have this podcast going. We've been talking about it for a while. So let's get right into it here, gentlemen. All right. Miles, you want to lead us off on how you started selling on Amazon? Like, where did you first learn about it? Where did you first see it?
Yeah, and so just for the first episode, we'll kind of be digging into our stories and everything because we all have very unique paths to, one, selling on Amazon, and two, finding out about everything. So it'll be cool to kind of show you guys how we got into it and everything, because if you're listening to this, you're probably either already selling on Amazon or looking to get into it. So it'll be cool to kind of go through that in some more long-form type of content than normal quick hits typically give out on Instagram, Twitter, and those platforms. So yeah, like I said, I've been selling on Amazon a little over 2 years. Been reselling for a while prior to that, starting in high school, really. Walked past a senior on my lacrosse team just on campus at school one day, saw he was wearing Gamma Jordan 11s. For whatever reason, told him I liked him. He said, I like them too, but I don't like how they look on me. I'm selling them. My 15-year-old brain, for whatever reason, asked him how much you selling them for. He said $160. Somehow I knew that they were worth a lot more than that, so I did what I could, sold some Legos the next few days, and got that $160 together. Bought that pair from him, sold them for like $220 on eBay or something. Took that $60 that I already had and the $160 that I had sold or that I bought them with, and ended up losing money on the next few flips for the next few years. For whatever just blind entrepreneurial curiosity, kept doing it kind of on the side, not really telling too many people about it. In high school, after my first year of college, going into my first year of college, my mom said, so when are you going to get rid of all the shoes? I'm like, no, Mom, I'm bringing them to school with me too. Luckily, I had some awesome roommates who were cool with there being a lot of shoes in the room. And summer 2018, about 3 years ago now, this last month, actually 3 years ago, had my first $1,000 profit month. 4 months after that, first $5,000 profit month. During that time, conveniently, I also heard about selling on Amazon for whatever reason through social media algorithms, getting hit with ads and all of that. Didn't take action on it, but thought it was pretty interesting. Getting into summer of 2019, that's when I actually got ahead and started on Amazon. Kind of mostly did books, kind of screwed around, to be honest, not really full focused on it. But luckily in February of this year, like 7 or 8 months ago at this point, for whatever reason, I was watching a Gary Vee video and he told me, you better respond to every comment. I was like, Gary, I'm going to do better than that. And instead of responding to every comment, I'm going to message them. One of those people was All Out Amazon here to my right, Garrett, and honestly, like within the week, I mean, we were getting on Zoom, and then for whatever reason, we hadn't spoken a ton. Danny and I've known each other for a while when we get into his story, but you had messaged me too, telling me like I'm gonna get back into it or some reason.
Yeah.
And Garrett told me like don't tell anyone or anything. I said, hey, there's this kid I went to high school with, Danny. You mind if he joins the Zoom call? He joined the Zoom call, and got in the group chat. And there we were, and we kind of been a nice like friend unit ever since then, in our group chat. And we honestly, in the first few months or first few weeks of our friendship, we had the Buy Box Bandit idea just as like a kind of group chat name.
We kind of just joked around with it for a while.
Well, we would say it when we had the buy box and something, and so sometimes we would be selling on the same listing. And if one of us took the buy box from each other, we'd say we buy box bandited you.
Yeah,
we'd be in a group chat. We'd text each other, oh, Miles, I stole the buy box from you.
Yeah, the term, it's a verb, I think is the right term for that. I'm not super good with my grammar and stuff, but you buy box bandit someone if you steal the buy box from them. If you don't know what the buy box is, it's like basically the buy it now option on the Amazon product page.
Exactly.
And if someone takes the buy box from you, like all of us are trying to do, in our Amazon careers, you got Buy Box Bandit.
Right.
So you want to be the Buy Box Banditer and not get Buy Box Bandit as much as possible. But yeah, now the past 2 months, excited getting over 6 figures a month in revenue and just continuing to do my best to put out as much content as possible, build up audience on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and now podcast with my boys here. And so that's my story on getting into it, everything. Thank you guys for listening, and I guess we'll hear Garrett's next.
That story is so iconic.
I have a couple questions that
I've heard that story many times, and it never gets old.
I have a couple questions I actually don't know the answer to. So
right,
I'd say the first one is where did you find out about books? Because I think that's where did you start selling books too?
I did.
So we all first started selling books. Where did you first learn about books? Like, where did you see it?
Yeah, so Rinzi had an interview with the big creator, and then that creator also interviewed Romer. And I had started following Romer from there. I was like, that's weird. This dude's like living in his car, whatever. And that was like 3 years ago at this point.
So you naturally found Romer on Instagram?
Yeah. So I was already selling shoes, and a lot of my shoe selling friends had accounts already. And somehow I found Rinzi Now's page, who's an awesome, really, really good used shoe selling husband and wife team, actually, from Instagram. And they were just doing a lot of interviews, and they had been interviewed by someone, I guess, who had also interviewed Romer. So I found that, and I legitimately was telling my parents, I was like, Mom, there's people selling books on Amazon for I'd never heard of selling on Amazon before then at all. So that's literally how I found out about it, and kind of just, they said it was a good idea. Although I'm not too keen on books being the best thing to start with.
Not long term.
Not long term these days. But back then, for whatever reason, that's what I did. It made sense because I was in college at the time, and textbooks, being in college and everything. But yeah, so that's what I did. And honestly, if you're literally I didn't make a ton of money off Amazon until 7 months ago, and was doing it for a year and a half, part time, though, not it being my full focus, but I did put in a lot of hours and kind of learned some stuff and learned what to do and what not to do, that hopefully I can help some of you not make those same mistakes when you're either getting started or looking to scale and everything. But now I'm super, super bullish on the future of selling on Amazon. I'm super, super excited. Like we just said, hitting some good revenue goals, getting into Q4, it's going to be really good, and excited to talk about that a lot here with my boys the next few years, hopefully on hundreds of episodes of the podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
Ideally, weekly episodes moving forward. But yeah, no, I've heard that story quite a few times, and it never gets old. Him seeing the shoes and on the lacrosse team.
Oh yeah.
It hits different.
Yeah.
My story is a tad different. Mine was more situational based. So before COVID, I worked corporate. I was a data analyst, and I had served on the weekends and some weeknights. Right. So I was still working 70, 80 hours a week, but that 70, 80 hours a week was pretty much being told what to do all times.
And what was the pay at your serving job, for context?
So it was a finer dining restaurant, so probably 30, 35 an hour.
After tips.
Included.
That's what
yeah,
I mean.
yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
if I took my money at the end of the night divided by the hours, yeah, it's probably somewhere around there. Not saying that's what all serving jobs are, but that's what I was doing, right? And so COVID hit, and our restaurant got shut down. I all of a sudden had all this free time on the weekends and the weeknights, and I'm not necessarily someone to just kind of sit there and not do much, right? So the first couple weekends were cool, and then after that I said, all right, well, I need to find something to do. And at one point I was on Instagram, I saw someone posting about selling books on Amazon, and that kind of struck my interest. I started getting down the rabbit hole of all these different YouTube videos and Instagram videos, and I just kind of dove right in. I made an account. I started selling a bunch of stuff. I went to Walmart. I guess I did. Didn't start with books. I acknowledged that was a feasible model, but I just kind of went to Walmart. I started scanning, bought a bunch of stuff, and none of it sold. So I said, well, this is annoying. Went back to the book idea, started getting into some of that book-focused content, buying in thrift stores, selling them using Scout IQ. So that's how I started. Started with that first couple months, made some good money, couple $1,000s the first couple months, and from there scaled into a more retail online arbitrage-focused model where I started buying larger quantities. Obviously, my confidence level built up in terms of reading the different Keepa charts and understanding volume and understanding what product listings may be better than others and what different velocities may mean in terms of that category. Started taking in all that knowledge and then just continued to scale, right? Put more money into it and built the business to what it is right now.
Yeah, and right now you're doing OA and wholesale mainly.
Yeah, so we've scaled in terms of buying larger quantities, right? Wholesale allows you to do that at scale. So we have a warehouse in Delaware, which all you guys are very familiar with, and
Yeah. Yes. Said that to my the person that I was doing my rent to, that I was a part owner of that warehouse.
But yeah, I mean, and similar to the Miles, our business is probably around the same scale, doing 120 a month at this point.
Gonna be a lot more than that soon. I can tell you
Right,
that much.
right. Yeah. So obviously, our sites are bigger, right? In terms of continuing to shift the needle towards a more wholesale focused model, getting closer to 80-20%. I don't think we'll ever completely move out of the OA.
Yeah, we talk
business
about that
model.
a lot, that there's just so much low-hanging fruit, especially when we're dialed in with the community, like having friends and everything. Like, there's only so much money out there. I would much rather have my friends eating with me than just some other random people that are on all these listings.
So for those of you who don't know that much about selling on Amazon, we probably just said a lot of words that people have no idea what they mean.
True,
So like Keepa, OA, RA, wholesale.
Yeah, I need to make a YouTube video like going through the like dictionary of selling
Yeah,
on
but so just
Amazon,
real quick. So OA is online arbitrage.
Yeah.
So that's when you buy something from a retail store such as
Walmart,
Target, Walmart.
.com,
Buy it for $10, sell it for 30 on
profit
Amazon.
8
Yeah.
whatever after fees. And
Exactly.
wholesales where you buy big quantities of something, typically directly from a brand or from a distributor. So instead of buying from a retail store, you're buying from someone that does want to move stuff in bulk to you.
Right.
And typically that can provide good opportunities in large quantities of stuff that, your local Walmart probably doesn't have in one place at one time.
Right. And RA, retail arbitrage, is when you go into a store, and when he meant scanning, you actually scan the barcodes on an app such as you use Keepa, right? When you're scanning?
Keep app, and you scan the barcodes to get the data about the product,
Right.
which then we'll deep dive in a lot of this stuff in future episodes, YouTube videos, and all that. But yeah, good to hear Garrett's story. Like literally, like the start of COVID was whatever, like 18 months, 19 months ago, whatever, and that wasn't super long ago. And now Garrett, is doing 5 figures a month in profit, not sales, profit for all the folks out there. Like that's serious money. It's a beautiful thing.
It's actually
to be able to
funny.
see what he does.
I had followed your business account, Instagram account for probably 8 to 10 months, or maybe 6-8 months,
And never said
and
anything.
never said
man.
anything.
We live close to each other
and
too.
we lived close to
40
each
minutes
other.
away from each other, and all it took was
Miles
my
reaching
boy-
out. Yeah, it
my
wasn't
boy
even
Ga-
me.
And that's the thing
so you
too.
reached
Like
out. Did you comment on one of his posts and you
he
reached
did.
out?
We'll go back and find the comment, and not to be egotistical or whatever, but there was very little reason for me to hit you up.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. No, of course.
Just based on the horrible metric of follower count based
Yeah.
on cloud or whatever the person. But did. And then Garrett's made way more money than like pretty much any other DM I've ever sent, or to be, I would say definitely. And chose out of that one little DM. Now Garrett's growing his brand, got this content going up. Like life's good, and just gonna talk about a lot of that with a whole bunch of other interesting Amazon sellers as well the next few years.
Yeah, awesome. All right, yeah. So I'll get into my story. So Miles and I. So to start off, Miles and I went to high school together.
That would have been
so-
cool if we like brought that up in a later episode and
Yeah.
like never said
Well,
anything.
I mean, I'll just say now. So I was following Miles because we went to high school together.
And it wasn't even the business page; it was the personal page.
It
that
was
I
the
would- I
personal
would plug,
page, yeah.
like probably once a quarter.
I
Is
can't-
it true? I heard you schooled Miles on the basketball court a couple times. Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
true?
So I mean, obviously that was happening. I would be crossing out Miles on the basketball court on a daily basis.
because Miles can't shoot though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, of course.
Yeah. So but besides that, I can't remember if I may have actually found flips for Miles organically, or you plugged it. I can't remember how it was.
So that's the thing. I know I would plug it every once in a while, but it wasn't super often. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In general conversation.
No, he means online.
no, like on my story. Yeah, it's we went to high school together, but it wasn't like we were talking. Like if I saw you like when we
Or
were
we'd
at
say
graduation,
we'd say what's up.
absolutely, but
Yeah.
it wasn't much more.
So like
than
in
that.
high school, you obviously had your friends. How far did your flips for Miles accounts?
I didn't have it in high school.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't know
no,
that.
dude, I started this in 2019. Then which wasn't in the
Yeah,
grand scheme of
for
things.
sure.
It was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, so that's how I know Miles. And basically, I was at my university, Syracuse University, and I was in my
Shout
dorm
out
room.
Syracuse University.
And I mean, I'm sure as some of us are, like, I've been selling stuff online for a while. Like,
And we would talk about that in high school
Yeah.
every once in a
so
while.
like
for
I
whatever
was
would come
always
up.
into online stuff because I never wanted to work a normal job
And
ever.
dude, I was the same way. Like I was always a kid that, you know, just naturally selling stuff. Like, dude, I'd literally talk about selling Legos. Like I was tapped in with a friend group of online kids like us doing Amazon.
Right.
It's just around Lego stuff. So I was bartering, I was trading stuff. Dude, literally like over a decade now at this point. Like,
See, I was not like that growing up.
Okay.
I just played sports. I did my thing. I didn't, you
dude,
know,
I don't know why. I've just always been like, my friends have an internet podcast called Internet Kids, and I literally just consider myself like an internet
Yeah,
kid, to be honest.
I'm
Yeah.
starting to really consider
Like,
myself
dude,
that as
when
well.
you think about like your tendencies, like having the YouTube channel, like all that, dude. Like I posted a YouTube video in like 2010 about Legos, like,
Yeah.
and then literally like
That's a lot,
2011 to probably 2016, I was posting weekly about Legos on a site called Flickr, which Yahoo bought.
I know what Flickr, yeah.
Yeah, it's way better than YouTube, or it was back then for Lego stuff. It's definitely not now. But yeah, you just have these different tendencies, I think, that kind of assuming you continue to actually do so, because tons of people have these tendencies and they just don't do
But the great thing
anything
about Amazon is that you don't need to naturally have those tendencies.
Exactly.
Like,
Not at
literally,
all, not
literally
at all.
anyone can
Yeah.
start doing it.
I'm
There's
the
nothing
prime
going on.
example. I wouldn't
Yeah.
consider myself a salesperson. I mean, I've worked hard in a bunch of things, but I didn't necessarily sell anything growing up, right?
Yeah.
So, and Danny, I know you were hustling from day one.
Well, yeah. So like the first thing I sold online was I think I was 11 or 12, and I was really into Call of Duty. Probably because I wasn't really allowed to play it, so I was really into Call of Duty, and I saw people had like these custom Xbox 360 controllers. I was like, oh, those are sick. Like I should make them and sell them on eBay because I saw they were
dude,
going
like,
for a lot
I know
more.
other like Amazon sellers who have similar stories to that.
Yeah,
like,
so I would
on the co-op.
custom spray paint these like controllers, like tiger stripes or whatever. Make a video how to do it, and then post that video, and then sell the controller on eBay.
Mhm.
So that's how I got started selling online. But in terms of Amazon, so just one day I think I was selling screen protectors on eBay, and it was going all right. I was having some problems with it, and I was looking for more ways to make money online because, like I said, I hate working normal jobs. Like I was a lifeguard, hated it. DoorDash,
You were a lifeguard at
hated
the
it.
time. We would be like, dude, literally like us in our dorms 2 years ago, like next month. We would talk like pretty much every night after not
Yeah.
talking really ever extensively. Like we definitely knew each other. But Danny, I'll like do this part of the story, but we're talking, and it might have been. We can go back in the DMs. Oh no, my personal account doesn't exist anymore. So we
You
won't be
deleted
able-
it.
We won't be able to see those. Yeah, that's a complete waste of time.
When did you delete it?
That's
2 months
an
ago.
interesting take.
2 months ago.
I
But,
haven't posted on mine in a couple years, but
exactly,
I haven't deleted
and
it.
you still check it every day. It makes no sense. But
That's a good point.
so-
I don't check
so-
mine. Yeah.
Exactly.
I try to check mine.
So we're in the DMs. The thing was, you know, people tell me all the time and still do. Oh, I'm gonna get started on Amazon, and
Oh,
never do.
yeah.
And it's fine. Like more, you know, it's not like I'm here to force anyone or anything. But that's the thing. Like I'll put all tons of information about it and whatever. Like if people start, they start, and tons of people do. But we were talking in the DMs, and it might have been the first night. He was like, "I've already ordered my scanner." And that
Yeah.
scanner was a big symbolization that you were actually going to do something.
It's action, right?
Yes.
People say they're gonna do stuff, and then the smallest, like once you get the ball moving, like it took a serious.
Well, to be honest, I probably have an issue. Like if I see something that I think is a great opportunity or like somewhat of a good opportunity, I'll just like dive in head
But
first.
you only need a
and
few
I'll
of those
kind of-
opportunities
yeah.
to live a very good
So yeah,
life.
so I'll kind of dive in and then just like roll with the punches or like the
And
problems
you
as
put
they
it,
come.
you put it on. You bought it with the money from Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, yeah. So I was big into Bitcoin in 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I saw the post. So I saw Miles posted his sales.
I actually really
And it
think
was-
I really think it was the first night that you bought the EOYO. I think it was
what was?
that you bought the scanner the first night.
I did buy it the first night.
Yeah, exactly. So that shows.
No,
that
so
he was
so no,
doing
so this is
something.
what happened.
Yeah.
So I was scrolling through Instagram, and I think it was on your personal, and I saw Miles posted
Yeah,
$10,000
reposted
$10,000 in
something,
sales in 1 month, and I thought in my head, I was like, oh my god,
profit, yeah,
I was
$10,000 profit.
I was like,
heck yeah.
I was like, this kid I went to high school with
Mhm.
just made 10 grand in 1 month,
selling
and
books.
I'm at a margin of like $1 on these screen protectors.
And you saw that I was actually doing something because I had other videos.
Well, yeah,
on
no,
the
I
page,
saw
yeah.
honestly, I saw the 10K and I was like, holy shit! Like, I if this kid could do it, I know I could do it.
Yep. And that's literally legitimately true. I
Yeah.
mean, like your Amazon store is faceless. They don't care where you went to college, what you
Mhm.
look like,
Yeah.
where you're from. They just want
How
their,
old you are,
they
right?
just, yeah,
We
want
know
their-
I
people
think
that
I'd be
are-
18. right?
You
Or
do.
no?
They just
That's
want their
true,
pair of
yeah.
sneakers or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Karen,
So I saw the post and I was like, man, this kid's doing it. I could definitely start doing it. So I looked more into your content, just started following people you followed, and within like 3 hours, I had ordered an eYoYo book
yeah,
scanner
yeah.
and mentally committed myself to, as soon as it comes, I got the Scout IQ app. I'm gonna go to the Goodwills in Syracuse.
Yeah, my link
and-
on the
and
Scout
start-
IQ, which I might.
Yeah.
Oh no, I remember we would always mess around with that. But yeah, okay. So you're back at school. Sorry.
Yeah. So
And then
I
you
s-
went to be a lifeguard. We were DMing. You said you ordered the yo, and then you went to be a lifeguard. No, legitimately, like
No,
this
yeah,
would
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
Like when your shift probably started like 8 o'clock, we would be talking. And you'd be like, "All right, I'm about to go be a life." And sometimes I think you would FaceTime me from the
from the pool.
pool, low key. Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as the eYoYo came in, I got Scout IQ. Scout IQ is an app that you can use to see if a book is profitable
Yeah,
or not.
we'll hopefully have the founder of it on here sometime, Caleb. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Caleb Roth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Shout out. Caleb Roth.
So I was going to Goodwills, thrift stores,
Salvation Army, library sales. Shout
Li-
out
oh,
booksalefinder.com.
libraries,
Estate sales.
estate sales. Those are awkward, but they're great.
Yeah.
The
But you-
estate.
Right.
on
yeah.
the motorcycle you were flipping at the time or not? On the
Uh,
motorcycle? You would take the bus, right? Am I crazy
Yeah.
that you would take the
No,
bus?
I wouldn't
sometimes?
take
Okay,
the
I'm
bus.
tripping.
So I had a motorcycle. That was a really dumb idea, but I had a motorcycle.
I want to.
Well, you were flipping it. You were flipping.
Yeah, I sold it. I made like $1,000. So
Dude, I want to buy a motorcycle.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we can talk about
Yeah.
those bad financial decisions
So-
in another episode.
I would actually rent a car. It was called
Zip
It
car?
was called Zip
Shout-
Car,
yeah, shout
and
out
there were promotions going on, and I was kind of
Oh, and you were that dude.
I was
we
kind of
didn't-
frauding the promotions, making a bunch of email accounts. So I was getting a bunch of free
the
Zip car
original
credits.
catch-all.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of Zip car credits. So I'd rent a Zip car for like $20 and then go to like all the Goodwills, libraries, thrift stores, and I would just scan everything. And I would go and I'd be scanning, and like on the app I would have made in theory $300 in profit from these books
In like an hour.
in like an hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is insane.
Yeah,
So
because
and then that's when I started like really, really going into it like every day.
That's what's so appealing about the book industry.
yeah, it's so cheap.
the
and
crazy ROI.
Think about
really
like
cheap to get
for
into.
my college kids listening, like the textbooks you use in class, cost like $100, $50, $80. The thing is, at the end of semester, kids don't care about that, and that's how they end up in thrift stores for $1. You
Yeah,
can
the
read for
the
50.
textbooks are, if you don't want to do the small paperback books, I mean, if you only want to do it like once a semester, the textbooks are a huge
Yeah,
opportunity.
Warner still does that, like just at the end of semester.
Yeah. Like
Because
you,
I mean, if you think about it, most kids buy or acquire their textbooks from their parents' money,
correct, yes.
right? So at the end of the year, like you were saying, it doesn't have the same value to them
Not even
because
close.
they didn't even buy them.
Not
There
even
is no
close.
value to be
Right, so
Especially if you're
they're-
going to a school like Syracuse where I was
Yeah.
at, no one cared.
They look at the books and say, oh, that's $40 I can take to the bar that
Yeah.
night.
So,
right? It's like-
honestly, if you're in a class of 100 people or smaller lot, you could really clear a few $1,000
exactly
in
because
one
that's
class.
the thing. Everyone buys the same textbook for
Exactly.
the same
Mhm.
class. Yeah.
And they're all they're all profitable
Well, yeah. For the
if
most
you're able
part,
to sell
yeah.
them.
And then-
anyways, finish your story.
So you were going books hard,
yep.
and you took a semester off from college. Still,
Okay.
Ironically, it's been a few semesters. You're still taking semesters.
No, no,
off
no, no.
since
I-
then. but
So,
you
uh,
had
how's that degree?
it's in the works.
it starts with the next part of the story starts with something called a gaylord. It's weird.
Yes.
That's a weird word. A gaylord is
So-
to quote our friend Avery Romer the Romer. It is a shit ton of books.
Yeah, so a gaylord is it's literally a huge box on a pallet, and it's between 800 and 1,000 pounds when it's filled with books to the top. And I think there's like almost 1,000 books in each gaylord. Like
Well,
800.
we're talking about like what, 5 yards by 5 yards or something like
A
it's pretty
pallet,
big.
Well,
48
more like
inches.
5
Yeah.
feet,
It's-
but
no,
regardless,
it's 48
giant.
by
Yeah,
48 by
that's-
40, I think.
That's 4 feet. I'm a math major like Garrett. I wasn't a math major.
So yeah, so you buy these big gaylords, and I was buying them from Goodwill for 7 cents a pound. So I'd buy them from Goodwill for 7 cents a pound.
Drive a box truck.
I drive the box truck myself. I'd go pick them up, and then I'd go back and I would pretty
So
much
where?
like,
Where would you go?
So all right. So the first time I did this, also for those of you who don't know, this is called bulk books.
And this
Right.
is January, February 2020 for context. So once again, in the grand
And
scheme of
December.
things,
Nothing.
Nothing.
This
right.
was December 2019 is when I bought my first 6 gaylords. So I rented a 30 by 10 storage unit.
Would you do cold call Goodwills to get them?
Yeah, so I called a lot of Goodwills in the area, but there's like the regional distribution centers.
Yeah,
of
someone who
Goodwill.
runs
just
all of
give
that.
them all the game. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't care. So I don't do it anymore. They books at least. So
True.
if you're in the tri-state area, New York and New Jersey,
Pennsylvania.
that's not tri-state.
All right.
So
Okay. Well, once again, a topic for another episode.
So the northern ones, the ones in like New York, actually I think some of the ones up here, like they don't sell them in bulk because I think they have a lot of business, people come in and buy it. But the ones South Jersey, or you could say the ones in less populated areas, they're very willing to sell things off in bulk. So I called, got a good contact with the Goodwill, and I was able to let her sell me 6 Gaylords at a time. So I got a box truck, went down, got the Gaylords, brought them back, and hired 2 people to go through them.
And how'd you know to cold call Goodwills?
Had to have been social media.
I mean, yeah, it was probably
Bingo. Asking questions to our
Had to have been
friends
social
who
media.
already were doing bulk books.
Yeah,
and
so I mean,
stuff.
I pretty much learned everything on YouTube, and I guess you could say Instagram, but mostly
yeah.
YouTube.
And that Instagram's where you build the network.
So the main people I want to say I watched were definitely Romer the Roamer, Hayden Aquilian.
I knew you were gonna say him, and Caleb as well.
And
Caleb has
Caleb, yeah.
Caleb has the really good like educational videos. Like here's once again another guy we really want to get on. Caleb.
I mean, all those guys, honestly.
True. I don't really know Hayden super well, but I don't.
Neither do
Said
I.
that
So
poorly,
his
yeah.
content was really good because he
Yeah.
was he was like a little bit ahead of me in books. Like
Which
he
that's
started
the
it and was doing
huge
it.
thing is you can find people one step. It's much easier to look at someone one step ahead and take away actionable information than someone, who's already doing $1 million a month or whatever. It can just be super. And not saying any of us are doing $1 million a month, but just in general, like, there's a big difference between 0 to 10. It's way harder to get from 0 to 10K a month
Right.
in revenue for the what's the profit people than 10K to 100K, I would say, or 10K to 50K.
Yeah,
at
it's much
least.
harder to go
Just
from 0 to 10.
Way harder, yeah,
Much
and
harder.
way more people who make it to 10K make it to 50K than.
Because I mean, at that point, we talk about it all the time. It's just scaling
money,
your credit.
yeah, just
Right.
well, capital, but
As long as you have
regardless,
your
yeah.
prerequisite knowledge of how to source, how
Knowledge.
to. Right, I saw that one coming. There's a baseline level
Shout out Ty Lopez.
of experience and knowledge that you need, and then once you're there, once you know how to source, once you know how to read Keepa, then at that point it's just how much money can you get your hands on, how quickly can you get your hands on that money,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
and just buy more products.
the hardest part is definitely because there's a lot of terms, especially when you start. It's very confusing. It's something like people don't probably really even think about selling on Amazon because most people, they see what we call the buy box. They see the buy box and they probably just think it's coming from Amazon,
Right.
Especially if it's Amazon
Everyone
Prime.
does, yeah,
So
everyone does.
there's, I mean, honestly, the learning curve is pretty big. There's definitely
It's scary.
it's
too,
not
like,
hard. I mean, it's not necessarily hard.
It's not hard, but it's a lot.
If
of
you
work
put in
to,
the
to
the
figure
work,
it out.
you got to consume the content. It's gonna take a few
But
months.
if you're listening to this, you are in the right place.
Yeah,
Absolutely, you're
Right.
in the
Definitely
right
are.
place.
and then once you start consuming the content and really get into it, and you get a really good foundation under you, then that's when you can really go off.
Because I mean,
to
there
the
gets to
moon.
a point where with the experience we have, like there's not too many things in the Amazon space that we haven't seen and we don't know, right?
Now, and
There's only-
but that took like
Yeah. no,
damn near 2 years
2
for all of
years,
us.
yeah.
And
But,
now
like,
now we all just
we look at a Keepa and we can pretty much diagnose what's going on in a matter of
Speak for
seconds.
So, all right,
yourself.
so here's a good
Speak for
question.
yourself.
Okay, yeah, maybe Miles can do that. So how long did it take you to be able to look at a Keepa graph and pretty much know right away if it's gonna sell or
Yeah,
not?
there you see that.
Like how many months did it take?
I mean, we're talking about like efficient knowledge. So probably 8 months to a year, somewhere in that. 6
somewhere around
months.
that. Yeah, categorically a lot more relevant, but regardless, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you show me a Keepa graph, I could pretty much diagnose it in 6, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever, because there's only so many occasions and so many different situations that you would see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it depends how much you look at it each day, but I'd say it took me about like 6 to like 9 months.
And it's
to
not
really
even
understand it.
not even like reading it's important, but just confidence in general and having money to buy stuff is like so important.
Well,
as
well, that's the great thing about books is they're super cheap.
Super
I mean, it's
cheap,
either
yeah.
free
And you don't
or
really need Keepa
25.
for books, pretty much. but
Yeah, I
in
mean,
some
I would say
cases.
Keepa
They
with
don't.
books is different. It doesn't really teach you that much,
Well,
but
you
it
don't-
gives you.
I don't think. I used to.
And you're only worrying about one unit in most cases too, so it's not really too big a deal at all. I didn't even use it.
Yeah, the biggest thing with books is sales rank, and I think it was making sure it's at least under a million.
Yeah, under a million or so.
And then it would sell.
But, yeah.
At Scout IQ was a great thing called the E-score,
Yeah.
which is an estimate of how many times it would sell
I think
each
it's
month.
the days with sales last 180 days or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
regardless.
that's a really good indicator as well.
Yeah. And so, what do you do on Amazon right now?
So I'm mostly doing wholesale, but still some OA and just wholesale, and just really trying to find. I mean, like, so there's like a few different ways you can do it. There's obviously the chasing trends and like hype and products, and
Which I mean, we know people who make a lot of money doing.
Which
it.
you
It's
could,
amazing. I
like-
plan on doing some of
yeah.
that. the
I
next
mean,
few months,
I don't ever
absolutely.
plan on really stop doing that, but I've really been trying to take time to find things that are truly replenishable and that I
Replenishable,
could
yeah.
like brands
that
and
you can buy again and again and again. And once you get that relationship with the brand or find that item on a site where it's not on sale but it is profitable on Amazon, theoretically you can go and that can be a honeypot again and again and again. And I guess your time to acquire a profitable item that you can buy goes way down.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's like obviously finding the replenishables are probably the hardest
And then
thing
it's just getting money.
about Amazon, but that's really what I've been focusing a lot of my time on lately is just finding replenishable products that I could sell forever, or not forever, but like into the near
Either
future.
way, I mean, even just multiple times is amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely what I've been doing now. What would you say yours? Because I know obviously you guys know Miles. You probably came here from a Miles shout out, to be honest. So Miles is by far out of both of us the most active, or all of us the most active on social media.
Yeah.
Maybe not active, but he has the most followers. So how would you say you're going about your Amazon journey and your social media journey right now?
Well, so if you think about it, like how many people truly have been posting daily for years talking about Amazon? It's so few people. It's all the big people, way bigger than me, who you think about, the Amazon Lits of the world, the Watch Me Amazons. And they obviously have giant businesses too, but it's like so important in my mind to put out content because we're recording this episode today, September 20th, 2021.
Yeah,
right?
20th.
Yeah.
You know, you might be listening to this months, days, years, weeks in advance, and like after this, and we're here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania, filming it in an hour here, and it's gonna live forever. And that's how I view a lot of the content. And man, if there was no social media, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
Yeah.
Danny and I wouldn't have thought about each other in 4 years, and Garrett and I wouldn't have met because of that.
I would have never thought about Miles again.
Yeah,
after
I mean,
graduation.
just from social media, there's like so many like just
Especially
revenue
after he crossed you
opportunities.
out that one time.
Yeah,
True.
Ooh-wee.
These guys
Yikes.
are lying, man, and just network opportunity, and it's just so wildly important to be building off. So as Amazon sellers, we build on top of Amazon, right? We sell products to Amazon's platform. So important in my opinion to build on top of Instagram, to build on top of YouTube, to build on top of Twitter, because there's opportunities there that scale without the need for excess capital. The way if you want to make more money on Amazon, you need more money. You need to be able to buy more products. If you want to reach more people on Instagram, you need to make more content, which doesn't require money, and that's why it's very important that
It's free. Just takes a phone.
it's just another. I mean, it's another stream of income, pretty much.
Yeah, and just opportunity in general, just to meet people and
It
stuff.
just makes-
Well, it creates a huge opportunity.
Yeah, in general, like just walking around the street, like the average person has no idea about selling on Amazon. They buy stuff on Amazon, which is why we don't have jobs, but they don't know about selling on Amazon.
And it just makes the experience so much better. It makes selling on Amazon
What, being
a lot
on-
more
being on
fun.
the
having
social
friends,
media?
man, having friends
Just-
that do the
just-
same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, like dude, we stream like every single night. We're probably not gonna stream tonight, unfortunately, but we stream pretty much every single night. Like, and people come and hang out with us. Like, that's amazing.
Like we
They
can
come.
we can talk to each other and obviously know what we're talking about with each other.
And these guys are kind of cool too, outside of just Amazon, I would say.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
hope
it's
they would
somewhat
say
cool.
the same about it.
That definitely would. I'm sure you guys know this is our first time ever filming a podcast, so I just want to remind everyone, make sure you're speaking into the
It does say
the
episode
microphone
1.
here.
Yeah.
So
am I not in it right
forgive
now?
us if
right.
we are learning how to do this stuff.
Yeah, this is a cool microphone though. You guys can't lie.
Yeah, we're
Shout out Danny.
we're hard negative on the P&L right now.
We are in fact very negative on the P&L.
But it's fine because this is content that should hopefully live forever.
It
And I
absolutely
think
will.
one of the goals of this podcast is to be able to make a video that's still somewhat relevant a year from now.
It,
Yeah.
it will
So
absolutely.
I'm assuming selling books is going to be somewhat relevant for a while.
just
we'll
Amazon in general,
Yeah,
like e-commerce, all that stuff.
yeah, no,
And the nice thing is too, it's not going to be just us every episode. There's tons of awesome Amazon sellers that we're friends with too, that we've found on social media, that we've had the pleasure of learning from, networking with, and all that. That going to be able to bring in here both virtually and in person in some cases and get to talk about what they do and everything. And it's going to not only help us learn some stuff selfishly, but also bring a ton of value to you guys as well. So just very, very excited that we're getting rolling with this for sure.
Yeah, no, very excited. We're definitely going to have a lot of cool guests. We're going to have probably like different backdrops, which is I always find exciting in podcasts when they're in different places. So
Yeah,
you're going to be
Danny
seeing.
has a major life event that's coming.
Yeah,
up
you
that
you guys
we'll hold
will.
off. We'll hold
we'll
off
on
on
that.
letting you guys know. But if you're watching this on
In a week or
YouTube,
so, yeah.
episode 2, episode 3, you're gonna see a cool backdrop at least. From
Should
Danny.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully you should. All right, so let's switch topics here. Let's go to how did you find? Let's skip over the books because I think everyone knows that. But how did you guys find your first product that wasn't books that you saw on Amazon, whether it's RA or OA?
Yeah, you have some cool stuff about this. So I want to hear yours first.
You want to hear my
Yeah.
first?
It's like the random stuff from China. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Like not a traditional Amazon business model
Yeah.
whatsoever.
So okay, yeah. So pretty much
We're at
what-
peak COVID.
I guess
right
we
now,
kind of
June
missed that.
2020.
We missed that part of my story. So I had a. So after I did the storage unit, I immediately, like I said,
Got a
I have
warehouse.
yeah.
Hopefully he'll unprivate that content on his Instagram. From
I think
back
it's
in the
gone. I
day.
think it's gone
No,
now.
your stories are saved.
The stories are saved.
And
yeah.
you can make those story highlights and then save them from there. A little Instagram tip for you guys out there.
So I had opened up a warehouse in South Jersey
In like February,
in well, I got the lease in January.
it immediately shuts
And-
it down. 'cause-
Yeah, so I got the lease in January and I started taking in like half truckloads of books. And
that's 18 or those are the giant trucks you guys.
yeah,
are
so
thinking
I
about.
didn't I really didn't have a lot of money at the time, so I couldn't afford to hire anyone, so it was just me. And if you're doing bulk books, that's like
A lot of
most
work.
likely a mistake already off the bat is you need capital up front to be able to hold you over and you need to be able to hire someone to do it for you or have multiple people doing it. So I was doing the bulk books and it was going all right. I could tell I was putting in a lot of work for like not that much money.
It was chill though. We were live streaming like during.
It was
early
cool
COVID,
and it was a
Oh, so
really
you knew him at this time.
We
yeah
went to high school
yeah no
together.
we
Well,
were
I know,
talking.
I know.
Yeah, we were.
And
we
Danny
were,
was posting. He hasn't posted content since then, pretty much. But
Yeah.
we were live streaming and stuff, and a bunch of people that have since unfollowed me were chilling in our live streams early Corona.
Yeah. So I was going big on the bulk books, and it was going all right. I probably thought it was going better than it really was.
You kind of always do with them,
Oh,
unless
yeah.
you like really. Now that I like have inventory lab, I can see like, damn, like I'm proud of the money I'm making, and
Yeah.
obviously know how to grow it and stuff. But back then, it's so hard.
That's another important thing. Make sure you know your numbers, and if you
Yeah.
think you know your numbers, show them to someone else
and
who
see
can
if it
also
makes
look at
sense,
them.
Yeah.
So I was doing books, and then COVID came, and I wasn't allowed to send in any more Gaylords. And
Yeah, because Amazon, for context, Amazon shut down all non-essential items.
Yep.
And
right.
books are non-essential items. So there was no.
Yeah.
All our friends that do a lot of books were kind of screwed there. For
Yeah,
a
so
few
I
months.
wasn't allowed to send any more Gaylords, and I wanted to get into wholesale really badly. So I was like, you know what, Amazon's kind of forcing my hand to pivot right now. I kind of have a get out of jail free card because I had a year lease, and I pretty much told the landlord, I was like, look, I was like, look,
It's
I
not
can't.
gonna work. It's
I was
not
like,
gonna
I
work.
can't pay this, and he's like, you're gonna go to court, and it was like April at this point, and I was like, fam, no one's gonna take you seriously in court. Like, keep my security deposit, but this relationship's over, and thankfully nothing has happened. Shout out to him if he's watching now because he let me in with like half
That
the
was
security
big.
deposit.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah, so that happened. So I got out of the lease, and I was like, all right, time to get into wholesale. And as I was doing that, I was also looking at trending products on Amazon because I knew there was going to be insane opportunity with like products that were moving
And we're
crazy
not.
fast.
Luckily, we're not gonna say he was selling masks because he was not. That would be kind of screwed up to say.
On eBay, I was selling masks.
Oh well, all right.
I was selling, but they were
Not
good
cool.
prices. No, I wasn't.
We
they were
should
good
we should
prices.
go back to that warehouse for the banter at some point.
I
Just
still have
to
a
see an
key.
empty.
Just to
Ooh,
I still have my. It probably doesn't work.
probably does.
There's, I mean, it's
And
gotta
we-
be.
we
It's gotta
had-
be
you-
filled.
You have a nice warehouse now we can go to too.
Yeah.
How big was it? It was
It was
35?
big.
So
Dude,
it
like the
was
same
so
size
it
as
was a
yours.
3,000 square foot unit, but I had half of it at
So
1,500.
yeah, so like
But I think he was
2/3
lying. I think he was lying because I measured it one time and it was not 1,500. I think
Yeah,
it was close
well,
to
that you
1,200.
could use that in court.
How many yardsticks did that take to measure?
It was a few. There were a few yardsticks. There were a
Nah,
few
he was
yardsticks
just
in
doing
there.
the steps like the gym teacher used to.
Yeah, and it was way,
Yeah,
it was way off.
mine's 12.
Yeah, really good size warehouse,
Complex, but
which is pretty much the starting size, but it's a really good, really good size warehouse. Wait, where was I? So I was talking about
Buying stuff from China.
right. Okay, right. So as I was doing hard research on wholesale, I also knew there was going to be a lot of products flying like crazy on Amazon because they shut down you can't send anything that's not essential because they were getting a lot of.
You could merchant fulfill stuff.
Yes, exactly. So you could merchant fill things. So
And that's when you ship direct to consumer for our
Right.
beginners out there.
or MF and
Yeah,
then FBA
MF.
fulfillment by Amazon, which is
Yep,
Prime.
where you send stuff to the warehouses.
So I was doing research and I came across a product. It was a UVC light phone cleaner. So you'd put your phone in this little box. People were getting them as gift. Like I got one as a gift for my aunt, I think, for Christmas.
Shout out to your aunt if she's listening.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my, like I see, you've no idea. It's so funny.
Did
So-
you flip it or did you?
No,
use
at
it?
that point I was done with them. So you'd put your phone in it, close the lid, and it would pretty much like clean, sanitize your phone. And that was kind of my first experience in Amazon where I was like I was selling those like 10, 15K a day on those, but it only lasted for a few weeks. And that was my first.
Also, in a global pandemic, so that we're talking about the anomaly of anomalies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. If you had the buy box, you were selling like tens or like almost probably 100 an hour.
Yeah.
So I did that, and that was my first real experience to the pretty much like the power of Amazon and how
just
like if you could
seeing
get
something move 50 a day, 100 a day.
yeah. So I mean, at that point, I knew I was like, it's time to really go into wholesale. So that came and went because Amazon shut all those listings down, and then I just started.
Trying to be a realtor for a little while there.
Well, yeah. So because I did wholesale and it was going all right, but I wasn't making as much
Dude,
money
no,
as I
I
wanted
did the
to.
exact same. I tried a whole bunch of business models last year
Yeah.
too, and early this year.
Yeah, so like originally when that was all going on, I was like, I could still do wholesale. I'm in school at the time as well. I was like, I might as well just get my realtor's license because it was 2 weeks, and so because I want to eventually get into houses. I still do.
Wasn't your Instagram handle Realtor Danny at one point?
My Instagram handle was Realtor Danny at one point.
That nice picture of you in the Perk Monday dress.
It did. I since changed that.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that
now
picture.
you have the Buy Box Bandit. You have the rough draft of the Buy Box Bandit logo.
Yeah, no. So we have the
A
rocket ship.
probably copyrighted emoji or something.
Yeah, it was on Google Images.
Oh.
Yes, we got the rocket ship going now. But yeah, I mean that's how I got into. That's how I found my first product that wasn't books. So either of you wanna? How'd you guys find your first product that wasn't books?
I was friends with Garrett, and he was like, "All right, here's how you learn how to sell shoes on Amazon. Buy this," and I had money.
Well,
so
you
I
were
did.
selling shoes before you sold them on Amazon. No, you weren't selling.
Oh
them on
yeah, a lot of.
So go into that, go into that. So
I
what were you-
wasn't gated.
So what were you selling before?
Yeah,
Amazon?
just pretty much just all shoes. Like, and I had some good, like I had some 5K profit months definitely. But then once I started doing books, I didn't do as much of that, and I.
But you had a cool
wasn't-
system
didn't
set
make a
up though
lot.
with your commission based.
Oh, a little bit. That didn't end up being super profitable though. I was paying for like 50 Scout IQ accounts at one point.
That was great for me.
Yeah, 'cause
Because
you
I
were
got
the
all the
affiliate.
referrals.
That
off
was
those.
lit.
I'd
Yeah,
get
that
like
was
what was it,
cool.
like $500.
It was
It was
a
good amount.
lot.
It was
dude.
good amount.
It was
of
like
money.
at least $100 a month. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. So you were selling primarily
Shoes on like StockX and Go and stuff.
Okay.
But I didn't do a ton of that until COVID started again.
I actually
but-
purchased Miles' course back in the day.
Yeah, back
His
in the
shoe
day.
course.
Really?
Yeah, back when I was not doing any of that
you
stuff.
were you
right
friends
now.
with him at the time or
You
no?
DM'd
I
me. We
wasn't.
have the DMs that we DM'd about
So
it.
I
yeah.
actually, funny enough,
He did it was at a special. It was
Mile-
the buy one get one free.
yeah, Miles reaches lengths on Instagram because my cousin.
This is
shout out my
crazy.
cousin.
Justin, right?
Yeah, shout out Justin.
Shout out Justin.
He bought Miles' shoe course.
Yeah,
And-
and
I
to be, I haven't sold that in like a year. So
That's
like,
one of
for
those things where
context,
it's
I
like
don't really
it's
do it much.
$30. You potentially
If
learn
you
something.
if you learn one thing, you make 1,000,
Yeah.
500, whatever. I bought courses all the time.
and I
definitely.
bought it on one of your sale days where
Yeah.
it was you have two, right? You have two shoes.
I had
selling.
to, yeah.
Yeah,
back in the
so
day.
so my cousin Justin. So we're at my house and
I mean, this is crazy.
was
I
very
still
fun.
don't really
and
believe it.
he's it's really happened and I think he found my FBA Danny Instagram and
And obviously, I was commenting or I was
Yeah.
in them. Yeah.
so I guess it was from the live streams we were doing when
Yeah.
I was in my rest and he's like, how do you know Miles? I bought his shoe course and I was like, there's no way. I went to school with him. So he found Miles on his own, not even through me, on
just
his own, which is
organically.
really cool.
Content.
Which
content,
shows the
content.
power of Instagram.
Yeah.
at the
So
time. Yeah.
if you're watching this on YouTube, you see social cues. I just took a drink of my water, and then Danny, naturally, his body made him go get a drink of the water. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Is that like
It's
like some mind
mirroring.
trick?
Yeah, like I'm gonna hold my microphone now.
Oh, okay. Learn.
Can I just say I'm in an awkward position in the
Definitely
corner
in an
here.
awkward position. Well, I mean, we'll
I mean, I'm sitting pretty over here. I got the Amazon Launchpad merch on.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm trying to look at both of y'all, and
I know my dog Rodriguez Resel's about to laugh right here as he hears this pointing.
It's unnatural, but you pretty much just have to I think just talk into the mic and kind of look over.
It's awesome, dude.
But no, it's pretty cool
with it. Yeah.
I just can't look at Danny, which is, I mean, I'm not missing out on
It's
much.
just fine. I don't really look at Garrett that much anyway.
We should preface this that like Garrett runs the business with his brother. Like Dylan's super involved with it, and
definitely have him on.
I want him to. Yeah. Oh well, absolutely. I mean, that's with no question there. But we want him to get more involved with the content side. But we definitely want to preface that Garrett's built a really cool business with his brother too, which I think is a very neat story as well, and just getting started.
Very cool, very cool. All right,
I feel cool with the microphone here, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no,
I know our audio sounds
sick.
Crispy.
Yeah, guys, let us know if it sounds crispy or not.
Yeah, let us know in the YouTube comments.
What kind of chicken sandwich is it? Popeyes, Chick-fil-A? Definitely. How crispy is it?
Yikes.
On
that note,
we just got a bunch of dislikes on the video.
On
All right,
that
that's fine.
note,
All
I
right, so
think
Garrett, how did you find your first product that wasn't books?
Actually, I had my first product was probably from a Discord leads group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had bought a
I had
lead list.
subscribed to a Discord group, which
post,
also
like,
came
follows
with
and stuff.
also had a leads list subscription. That's how I really just started to take in the knowledge up front. Obviously, it wasn't the best leads list. I was buying a bunch of stuff that wasn't profitable, but it just gave me the experience. It just made me start second guessing things, right? I just assumed up front that every product on the leads list was going to be good.
Absolutely not the case. You
which
always
was
need
not
to
the
vet
case.
people you buy stuff
Which is why you need to know the fundamentals of Amazon because
and that's why
that's what
literally,
makes the lead list good.
That's why so many people sell stuff and don't vet the people that buy from them, and then that stuff ends up in people that screwed out of money.
And that's how I learned Keepa is getting sick of losing money, and then just started to look into the products more and more, and then ultimately left the Discord group with just so much more knowledge than I had before.
Knowledge. Some Miles looked at me when you said it.
Yikes. I was looking right at him when he said it.
So first product was from the leads list, and that pretty much taught you how to use Keepa.
Somehow you got ungated and stuff, and then then you started doing the free lead Fridays back in the day when you got the Instagram going.
Discords are
they have a ton of value in terms of being able to ask
paid ones. Obviously, free ones join like our awesome one.
Just being able to ask like-minded people questions is always valuable.
And that's obviously in a perfect world, everyone would be posting consistently and constantly attracting new audiences, but people just don't. So that's a way you can kind of buy yours.
Yeah.
The good thing about Discord is like what you said. You could be in a group chat because I feel like most people that sell on Amazon, they're immediate friends that they grew up with. They don't sell on Amazon also.
No idea about
it. Being in a Discord enables you. It enables you to talk to people maybe similar in age or similar in other interests that are also
similar and just selling on Amazon.
That's what I mean.
Very hard to find in real life.
But in any paid Discord, there's going to be so many people that are very knowledgeable on the subject.
Yeah,
so you put a question in any of the channels, it's likely going to get answered in 5 to 10 minutes, which is huge, right? Because you're going through Amazon, you're trying to do an FBA shipment, you run into an issue, you put a question in the Discord and it gets answered. Yeah. So that's one major key of Discords. The other one is just ungating. Right.
That's huge. Absolutely huge. Yeah. For context.
Yeah.
Big brands like Nike, the category of grocery, the category of toys, big toy brands like Mattel, Hasbro, those, they don't let Amazon sellers that aren't approved. Nice thing is there's little tricks and little methods to get that done. And Amazon also sometimes auto approves without even really doing anything on different
Once
products.
You get to a certain, no one knows what the metrics are, but at a certain point in revenue.
And honestly, if you need help with any, just feel free to DM me or anything. I'll help you out.
Yeah. And so the value of a Discord
and I'm not gonna ask for your money either.
You're in a group of all these people.
We literally have the Launchpad. We have hundreds of people getting ungated every single day.
So all you need is one person though to know how to get ungated in any of these brands or categories, and then you're good, right? So you put in the Discord, hey, does anyone have EA Sports ungate, right? If any one of the couple hundred people has that ungate, then you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are looking for a free Discord, obviously Miles and our friend at Flips for Profit have one.
Fields of Profit.
Fields of
Warner,
Profit.
but yeah, it's called the Amazon Launchpad. It's completely free. There'll be a link in the description too. We have over 5,000 Amazon sellers in it. It's a good time. There's a bunch of good help in there. You can get any question answered you need and stuff. It's
I
completely
also, well, that's a free Discord. I also don't want people to think that Discord's the only way to do it.
No. I mean,
really
we all
learned,
did it from. I
learned everything on YouTube
and just talking to each other.
So I learned everything on
came up
YouTube,
together.
and then the actual experience.
And especially right
failing
when
on
we met, like March, April, like we were on Zoom every night. I mean, we stream every night, but that's like we were on private Zooms, like mastermind
Hours,
every night.
hours.
Literally, like pretty much every night. Yeah.
FaceTime, Zooms,
We
whatever
still
it
we
was.
probably FaceTime like a minimum of 5 times a day for little things. All like
Yeah, and so
Yeah, we
Miles
do.
is so if you don't know Miles, one of his best attributes, one of his best values as a human being is being on FaceTime with someone and then just immediately hanging up whenever he feels
we
as
got
though
stuff to do, man. We
whenever
got
he
stuff to
feels
do.
as though the conversation's done, he ends. I could be saying something and Miles is like, "Oops, psych, I'm done with this
So,
conversation. I'm out."
That's actually funny. Miles definitely like
I don't know
as
what
it's
they're talking about.
as it's ending, it'll just like hang up very quickly.
It doesn't even have to be ending. He could be done with his thought. The reason why he was called.
That's what Mr. Beast does in his YouTube videos to get the watch time good. Like he'll be like, and I just gave this person $1 million, bye, and it just ends. That's how he gets 100% watch time for people.
Okay.
So like that's
out
I
to
just bring that to like FaceTimes. Yeah.
So that's one of Miles's best skills as a human is just being awful at FaceTime.
Well, at least I'm decent at selling on Amazon and make a bunch.
Yeah,
of
I
content.
mean, in terms
true.
of numbers, I think we're all probably making. No, we definitely are. We're all making 5 figures of profit
Hey,
at this point each month.
Yeah, multi.
I mean, which is like, I'm telling
bizarre.
you, if we
There's
can
very
do this
few.
stuff-
There's very few ways to do that as a early 20-year-old. I would say like.
Yeah, no, I'm being like if we can do it, if me, Miles, and Garrett are
Especially
doing
if
this stuff,
I can do it. Let me tell you
Yeah,
guys,
nah,
man.
it-
See,
yeah,
these
that-
guys, if you guys saw half of what these guys see, definitely.
anyone could really do it if you put in
And
the
even
work
and you have
do
to consider what you want to get out. So, $1,000 a month profit
Yeah.
helps the majority of America. I would love an extra $1,000 profit. You know what I mean? Like I'm always working to do that. It can be just good side
You could
hustle and stuff. too.
definitely just do it. I think the majority of people start it just as a side hustle.
Yeah, absolutely
as you should.
Yeah.
Which I mean, an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month for like, I mean, working
Dude,
just
I
on the
would
Saturday,
love- I
working
would
just
love-
on the
yeah,
Saturday or
like-
Sunday. I mean, that's really all it takes. Whether it's books or OA, you only really have
If
to
you
do
do
it.
it right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Make sure to just consume tons of content. At least
The
that's
right
what I did. I
content.
just consumed tons of content.
Ask the right questions. Yeah,
Ask the right questions and not be afraid to fail. But fail smart. Don't
and
Small
keep
and
going.
quick. Go
Keep
small
going,
and
boys
quick.
and girls.
small and quick. Don't go all in on a private label product and lose all your life savings.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon's one of those things where one of the keys is just executing irrational persistence.
That
at
guy
times.
spent way too much money on his car. I know you
yeah.
guys heard that.
Oh,
Way too
yeah.
much. Imagine all right, so that guy's car, he spent like 30K. Dude, if you give me 30K, we can make, 5K profit a month for,
Yeah, man.
just
I don't
buying
think
stuff for
Danny or
Amazon.
I can talk about that because we probably both spent.
Bozo amounts of money
yeah.
on cars.
Well,
at least
it's
it's
a-
loud,
it's
man.
a-
At least it like annoys the other people on the road.
I mean,
My
it's
car
a
is not loud.
it's a happiness thing. It makes me makes me
And you worked
smile.
hard to get it by selling random crap on a little site called Amazon.com.
A little
mean,
site is right.
I mean, 50. I think it's over. I think last time I saw it was 51% of online sales in the U.S. happen on Amazon.com.
It's got to be more.
And
than
then
I think, yeah.
interesting fact number 2, over 50% of the physical product sales on Amazon come from a third-party seller, of which you're listening to 3 third-party sellers right now. So that shows that when you buy something on Amazon, there's a good chance it came from a small business owner like ourselves. So maybe don't leave such aggressive negative feedback if it comes one day late.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
Most
funny.
people think they're targeting Amazon and doesn't realize that there's someone else on the other side of it, right? So,
Yeah, nice like guy talking in a microphone right now. We have feelings too.
Yeah, it's funny.
I think that probably just about does it for episode 1.
Yeah.
That-
No,
that's-
thank you.
We're close.
Yeah.
We almost hit the hour. We're close. We almost hit it. We're at like 50.
Dude,
which
I
we can
haven't
end it
looked
here, it's
at like
fine.
So, yes, this is my first time hosting podcast.
Yeah,
So
same.
I think you subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
Well, we're gonna
or
post it on what? YouTube,
definitely
Spotify,
YouTube, Spotify, Apple.
So
yeah. So
what-
do what you got to
whatever
do.
the- yeah, whatever the
rating,
metric
we'd love a
is.
5-star rating,
What-
especially you, Rodriguez. We would love a 5-star rating.
whatever the metric is to make this go higher up in any of the algorithms. Just do
Subscribe.
that.
But
subscribe,
yeah,
like,
no,
comment.
seriously, we enjoy doing this for you. We would appreciate a good rating if possible. You can find all of us on Instagram if you have any questions on anything like that. And without further ado, we are excited to bring you some awesome guests in the next few episodes. See you later.